All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom salutations to the hopeful elect that's fighting a good fight of faith and truth, in sincerity and wholeheartedly. And shalom to the Akwath, which is the women believers. Shalom to you. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And it says, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariots, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. So, chariot is a vehicle. You know, it could be a horse and chariot, but in the scriptures, you know, when you see chariots and clouds together, it's talking about who the world ignorantly call UFOs. Those are the chariots of the Lord. So I want to talk about the strangeness of our salvation and judgment, because since you may have new people watching, they may not ever heard of the chariots of the Lord. So I want to start off with how Yahweh Shai gonna come back. So it says, for as lightning coming out of the east and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. How can this happen? It's not going to be the Lord flying across the sky himself. It's actually going to be him in a chariot. And as we just read in Psalms 104 and 3, how he made the clouds his chariot. And as you see, as the lightning, you know, when you see the lightning, you know, come from the east to the west, because the Lord is coming literally from the east part of the world to the west. All right. To deliver his elect from the four winds of the earth. But the big deliverance is going to be from America. This is where the truth came from. This is where a majority of the Israelites are at. So, it said, behold, he cometh with clouds. See, not the clouds, you know, like he ride. If you watch Dragon Ball Z, you know how Goku, he ride on the Nimbus cloud, you know. So no, the Lord is not riding literally on a cloud. The cloud represents something. It represents the chariots of the Lord, as we just read in the first scripture. He make of the clouds his chariot. A chariot is a vehicle. All right. So behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they which also pierced him, which proves reincarnation. That's why the scripture says that he required that which is past. Nobody gets away with anything. The man that pierced him 2,000 years ago, the Lord did not forget. He got some fire for your ass. All right. So you dealing with a power who have a 2,000-year-old beef. See, he ain't letting nothing go. He ain't letting nothing go. So if you think that you get away with something, the Lord is long suffering. All right. So even them that pierce him, and all the kindreds that means that you're related, right? All right. Kindreds is talking about the Israelites. All the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Amen. Because why? So you're going to have twofold wailings. You're going to have the men of the Lord, you know, praising the Lord, you know, tears in the eye. Seeing the Lord come back, you know, that's all we look forward to. But then you're going to have the literal welling. Yahweh Shai is going to be destroying. Okay, matter of fact, let's back it up, because he said he coming with clouds. That's plural. Is it the last one? I think it's the last verse. Let me see. 27. Said, for the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels. See, so that's the clouds. He ain't coming by himself. And then he shall reward every man according to his works. See, so, you know, the Lord also said he going to wipe away tears from our eyes. That's Revelation 21 and 4. So let's try to paint a picture of what the Lord is going to be doing when he come back. He also going to be delivering. It said, for behold, Yahweh will come with fire and with his chariots, plural, like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. See, so when the Lord coming back, he's going to be shooting fire out of the chariots. With, you know how Esau have direct energy weapons. Well, you ain't seen nothing yet. The direct energy weapon that the Lord have, whew, you do not want to be a part of the Lord's wrath in that day. And we're going to actually back it up of that direct energy weapon that's going to come out the chariots in the next scripture. For by fire and by his sword will he plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. So the Lord is not coming back delivering everybody. He's coming back to deliver his elect. And it literally says that, Matthew 24:31, that he's going to deliver his elect. He didn't say everybody. So now I got to go to the Hebrew now to prove my point about the the fire coming out of the chariots. So it says, the Most High coming from Teman, and the Holy One from the Mount of Paran. All of this is in the region of South Jordan and the Arabian Desert, South Arabia. All right. So this is where the Valley of Jehoshaphat is going to be. Teman is in South Jordan. All right. Right above Saudi Arabia. Mount Paran, which is equivalent to Mount Sinai, that's in southern South Arabia, according to what the scholar says. But it actually makes sense, because when you go to Joel 3:1, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, that is the judgment of the Lord. That's where he's gathering all the nations. That's why it's called Yahweh Shaphat, which means, Yahweh's judgment. So, but let me just make sure it's another name for Mount Sinai. But look at that. It said the desert of Arabia. Yep. As you see down here, it said wilderness or area bounded on the north by Palestine, and the west by the wilderness of Etham, on the south by the desert of Sinai. So yeah. But now let's get to and his brightness was as the light, and he had horns coming out of his hands, and there was the hiding of his power. So when you see the horns, which is coming out of the chariots, because when you go to 2nd Esdras 13, it talks about how he lifted up neither sword or he had a weapon in his hand. All right. So the scriptures don't contradict this. So that's why you have to go into, the Hebrew. So as you see, the Hebrew word is Quran, and it's horn, strength, flask, container, oil, horn, musical instrument, horn like projections on the altar, rays of light. All right. So what you call lasers, that's what's going to be coming out of the chariots, and they're called direct energy weapons. That's what we would know them as today, and lasers also. But yeah, so these are the things that's going to be happening, when the Lord come back. So now that's the judgment of the Lord when he come back, and it's plenty more scriptures. It's plenty more scriptures to show what he's going to be doing when he come back. But we understand the point. When the Lord come back, as the scripture says, for behold, Yahweh will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flame and fire. For by fire and by a sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. So when he come back, he ain't coming back just delivering. He's coming back for judgment too. Oops. So it says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him. That's the men of the Lord. When we go on the highways and byways, we're literally standing in this man's kingdom, telling him that he's going to go down. Our big brother is going to take you down. Our big brother, he's going to use us to put you in captivity. All right. We're at the bottom of the totem pole. So imagine telling a king, because he is the king of the earth right now, the earth is given into him, as I say in Job 9:24. The earth is given to him. So he looking at us like, well, I put it like this, not the elites. The elites know the truth. All right. But the regular Edomite, like, really, we're going to go into slavery. You're going to put us in slavery. You're going to rule the world. Ha, ha, ha. You know, even though they don't say it, but in the back of their mind, they're like, you were slaves. You were just slaves not that long ago. You know, so that's how the way that people look at it. So the righteous man shall stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. Nobody look at us as what we're doing is anything significant, but the elite. All right. That's why they're making these unrighteous decrees to get us off the street. They don't care about no damn Palestinian protests. They don't care about none of that because they want to cause, order out of chaos, But us, we have the message that goes against his new world order, his whole being. All right. And he know that is true. That's why the scripture say he knoweth that he had but a short time. But look at the strangeness of our salvation though. When they see it. So it starts off with us receiving the knowledge, the men who the Lord have chosen to be prophets, going out there, making their body a living sacrifice, which is their reasonable service, going out there preaching the word. And then one day, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of the salvation. So, as the scripture says in Revelation 11, it talks about how, the nations were scared when we stand up on our feet, and start talking about we Israelites. Because remember, in Psalms 83, they all came together to make sure that the name of Israel be no more remembered. It's talking about our fame, reputation, and glory. That's what the name means. All right, Shem in the Hebrew. So the strangeness of our salvation is so far beyond all that they look for, especially now the elites know this. That's why they make lies about the, aliens and these unidentified flying objects. That's what UFOs stand for. So that's why they make stories like this. The people of the world believe it. So when they see these chariots, they're like, oh my God, that's an alien. Run away from it, And that's why that famous speech by Ronald Reagan talks about we should put all our differences aside and come together and fight against, the outside powers, talking about the UFOs, So, and in the scriptures, just to back it up real quick, that's why they got a space force, and that's why the Lord said this. So, and there was war in heaven, literally, okay? Because you got three heavens. You got heaven on the earth. You got heaven where the constellations be. The sky, the clouds, the moon, sun, and stars. And then you have where Yahweh be, and Yahweh Shai and the angels be. So that's three heavens. And the heaven that they're going to be fighting in is the sky. And it said, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought his angels. All right. As angels are just, servants, ministers. In this context, angels serve you, angels serve us. Angels is what keep us in the way of righteousness, keep us understanding these precepts, increasing our learning. That's what the angels do for us. And then you have angels on the left hand side who keeps the truth from people who ain't supposed to get it. So it's saying, prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. Talk about on earth. All right, because a new rulership is coming. When this man is destroyed, our rulership come up. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, which is called devil and Satan, which shows you that the same spirit that was in the serpent is the same spirit in Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white people, the wicked, all right, that the Bible speak of. And it says, which deceiveth the whole world, because he made himself the most high, the angels, and every damn body. He was cast out into the earth, which means he was brought down to a very low estate, and his angels were cast out with him. All right. So he was cast out of heaven. He brought down to captivity. So to end it on this, so after 3 days and a half, this is talking about prophetic years. All right. 350 years, which That's what it equals to. All right, 3 days and a half. And it said, in the spirit of life from the Most High enter into them. So from 1619, 1620 to 1969, 1970, the Lord, as it say in Malachi 4 and 5, that it was going to come a man, Elijah, all right, to unite the sons' hearts back to the father and the father back to the sons, okay? And through a man of Abba Bibbins, was the only one at that time that went into the Old and the New Testament. You had men before him who only was Old Testament, Jews, if you want to, say it that way. All right. Because, our people, when you look it up, you had people like in the late 1800s calling themselves Israelites, knew that they was, Israelites, but they was only Old Testament. Abba Bibbins, he went into both. He is our apostles' elder. Okay. So through that man, which the Lord promised that before the great and dreadful day, a man was going to come and give us the truth. And from there on, look what we're doing now. So, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them, which saw them. Okay. And then they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascend up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. So, like I said, this video is for the new one, for the new people, new believers, probably never heard about the chariots and what they really are and what the world called them today. And that is the chariots of salvation. So all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Matter of fact, let me end it for the chariots of salvation. Actually, was Yahweh displeased against the rivers? Talk about the judgment that he's going to be bringing. Was thy anger against the rivers? Was your wrath against the sea, that you didst ride upon your horses in the chariots of salvation? All right. So, shalom.